Once the cast and crew of Joseph finished filming, the incredible footage was turned over to the talented editors, artists, and sound designers in post-production. They were responsible for taking many pieces and creating a dramatic and compelling film. The first stop for the hours and hours of footage was the editing room. Jerry Stainer and associate editor Win Hogard had to pick the best segments and string them together into a coherent story.
Being an editor basically entails watching all the footage, going through it, finding the best parts of it, choosing the best part, and basically sharing it with everybody else.
It was those times here alone, editing, when you find just the right take, just the right rhythm, just the right feeling that, Joseph is kind of communicating, it felt, that he's happy with this, especially with Emma. We haven't talked about Emma much, and she, I think, is really portrayed well.
Once the difficult editing decisions were made, the footage was turned over to visual effects and sound. The visual effects for Joseph were done in-house by a new department created especially for this project. There were about 80 shots requiring some type of added effect.
My name is Brian Rowland. I've been helping with the whole visual effects effort for Joseph. I've been helping get the artists together, making sure we have all the resources necessary as far as computers, as far as any outsourcing we need to do, just to make sure we can get all these visual effects shots done for the show.
Visual effects is a time-consuming task. In order to complete the large workload required for this film, shifts of artists worked around the clock, 6 days a week.
Well, my name is Doug Stewart, and I'm a visual effects artist. I do special effects, compositing specifically. What that is I integrate layers of either, if it's for an animation project, it's layers of animation, different light passes. Or if it's for a film, I basically layer in the effects into a live action plate. And I try to make it look as real as possible and try to fake the audience so that they don't all of a sudden sit there and say, oh, that's an effect that somebody did,
Everything that shouldn't be in a shot, we have to get rid of. And everything they want to have in a shot that's not there, we have to add in.
Several shots required the use of scale model miniatures filmed against a green screen. They were seamlessly composited into the final shot using the technical and creative skills of the visual effects artists. While the visual effects team was hard at work, the sound designers of Joseph had equally challenging tasks ahead of them. Richard Duke had to re-record and edit the lines of actors in certain parts of the film. In a process known as automatic dialogue replacement, or ADR. Contrary to its name, however, the process is hardly automatic. The lines must be recorded in small sections and then synced to the lips of the actors.
The word of a so-called prophet?
Many people think that the film is finished when the camera stops rolling, and the truth is that post-production is really just getting started, and another group of people think that it's finished as soon as the edit is done, the picture edit is done, and as soon as they see that the picture edit is done and it's this many minutes long and this is the content of the show, then isn't it done? Can't we have this finished? And that's when we start our work on being able to create all of those sounds that go with the specific picture.
Travis Allen is a talented and seasoned Foley artist and sound engineer. He had to create various sounds using props, his body, and a lot of creativity. Each sound effect must be recorded separately and painstakingly matched to the exact movements of the actors and props on and off screen.
Okay, let's try it again. Same loop.
Mike Chadbourne was busily mixing the usable production sound, adding sound effects, and setting levels. Although it is a very technical process, it demands a great deal of creativity and artistry in order to make a memorable mix.
The way we approach sound is not necessarily if we see a wagon, we put a wagon in, or if we see, leaves moving in the trees, we put wind for the leaves moving in the trees. There's a thought process, an artistic thought. Sometimes if you see a big fire going on a scene, you'll hear fire, but there may also be cries of dolphins inside that fire. There may be roars of lions inside the fire. And that's how we add drama to the sound. It's easy to just put the sound of fire in, but that doesn't add drama to that fire. So we want to try to bring the feeling out through sound.
Although sound is usually overlooked and forgotten in the production process, it plays one of the most important roles in the finished film.
I was told once by someone that I know and trust in the film business that to them they said that the picture touches the mind, but sound is processed by the heart before it goes to the mind. And that's how I feel about the job that I do and the sound that we make for films.
The soundtrack for Joseph was recorded in several different locations. The orchestra segments were recorded on stage 2 at the Motion Picture Studio in Provo. The orchestra at Temple Square sight-read, rehearsed, and recorded the 53-minute soundtrack in 3 short recording sessions.
I think the role that music plays in a film is to give the spirit, give the heart, the touch, the soul that conveys the emotion of the film. The uniqueness of this particular film is the heart I felt of Joseph. Not the history of what he did, but the heart, who he was as a human being and as a connection with God in charge of this dispensation, but somebody that I can relate to and feel.
The soundtrack was a collaboration by Merrill Jensen and Arlen Card. The uniting of these 2 talented composers produced beautiful and memorable themes for the film.
In the 2 years previous to this film, I had some very deepened testimony experiences out at Carthage Jail, for instance, and in Nauvoo. And I guess at the back of my mind I was wondering, well, why now? You know, why not 10 years ago? Why not later? And then up comes the film. And these heightened feelings had had time to season. And so I can see the Lord's hand, quite honestly, not trying to be maudlin here, but it was in reverse. This film blessed me before I knew I had the film.
I think I'm a conductor.
The vocals were recorded at the LDS Conference Center in Salt Lake City by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Despite their extremely busy holiday schedule, the choir was able to record the vocals in about 4 hours and add their incredible talent to this important film. When all is said and done, hundreds of individuals will have contributed to the Joseph film. From pre-production to production, and finally to post-production, the talents of many have been utilized to make this memorable film. Though there have been difficult and trying times, all involved have pulled together and helped to complete a wonderful film celebrating the life and mission of the prophet Joseph Smith.
I have very deep and tender feelings for the collaborative effort that a film is. How many people work so very hard. The viewers often just have no idea.
Part of, I think, the biggest miracle of making this show happen is seeing these very worthy, very, very skilled individuals walk through the door that have been able to contribute to the film and really make it happen.
If I only had 30 seconds to say something to Joseph, I think I would thank him for the trials of his life that brought about such a great work.
You know, no matter what the world may say Joseph was, I think this film portrays a pure heart and a contrite spirit, and someone who was a true disciple of Christ.